Hey guys, this is Marcus Taylor.
Hey guys, I'm Ashish.
Hello, I'm Tyler Hagen, and today I'll be showing you how to field strip and lubricate an M1 Garand. Now the first step in disassembly is to remove the recoil spring and recoil spring guide. I'm using a piece of paper towel to get a grip on the parts because they are greasy in this example. So compress the spring, lift up, and pull out. Set that aside. With the recoil spring removed, the next step is to press out the pin that holds everything together. I'm using a 1/8 inch punch for this example. The pin only goes in one way and it only comes out one way, so push it through, pull it out, and set that aside. At this point, the op rod catch assembly, the bullet guide, and the follower arm can all be removed. Reach into the receiver and pull out the follower. Set that aside. Pull the op rod all the way to the rear so that it lines up with this notch right here. Once you have the op rod lug lined up with its notch, pull up and out, and the operating rod will come loose. Turn the rifle over, lift it up, and pull it out. At this point, the next step is to remove the bolt. Push it forward to about 1/3 of the way, pivot up and out of the rifle. The next step is to place a small amount of grease on the underside of the barrel where the op rod rubs against it. Next, we're going to lubricate the op rod assembly. You'll place a good amount of grease here where the op rod makes contact with the barrel, and on the underside where the spring interacts. If you put too much grease on, you can always wipe it off with a paper towel or a shop rag. Next, we are going to lubricate where the op rod interacts with the bolt. You're going to want to lubricate all along this track and on the underside here, as well as the arm here where it rubs against the receiver. The final stage of the process is to lubricate the receiver. You want to put a bit of grease on the underside of the receiver here, where the bolt slides all the way to the rear. And you'll want to lubricate the track where the bolt rides, both here and here, and where it locks into place. One final place where you might want to put a bit of grease is on the underside of the receiver in these slots that the follower light rides in. reassembly is the same process in reverse. Turn the rifle over, take your bolt, insert into the receiver, make sure it rides freely. Push it all the way to the rear, take your op rod assembly, insert into the rifle, you want to make sure that the lug locks into its extension on the bolt and that the whole assembly rides freely. Close the bolt, turn the rifle back over. Now at this point, take the follower and insert back into its track. To reassemble, take the bullet guide and insert into its slot, like so. Take the follower arm, lock it in, thread it through the bullet guide into the follower, and rest it over the hole where the pin goes. Take the op rod catch assembly, insert into the rifle in this orientation, making sure to lock the clip latch, this section over the clip latch inside the rifle. You'll feel when you've got it because it puts tension and moves this. Compress slightly and insert the pin. And just like the pin only goes out one way, it only goes in one way. Next, take the spring, orient like so. Now my fingers are a bit greasy at this point, so I'll have to use the paper towel to get a good grip on it. Compress, lock it over the hump of the follower arm, and that's back together. Finally, reinsert your stock. Reinsert the trigger group, like so. Press down on the trigger guard until it latches. The rifle is now back together. You'll want to give it a basic function test. Make sure that everything rides smoothly. Pull the trigger. Pull back on the op rod until the hammer cocks. Let it go. Release. Pull, and repeat. And that is the field strip and lubrication of the M1 Garand.